Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's a mess, sis, my favorite podcast. I'm Jess, working through the mess, and I'm so glad you came back to hang out with us again.
And dang, you just erased my whole intro.
You
Like
didn't have anything in there.
it wasn't there. But you know what? I'ma
Okay.
just nah,
Okay,
I
I'm
want to
listening.
fact check this, and you know what? I don't even have the original anymore. Anyway,
I
my
do.
name is well, go look at the original then and tell
I
me
am. Go ahead. What's your name, though?
my name is Rena. Okay.
Rena.
I am the other host.
Come
But
on,
if
other
you look at
host.
our outline, it looks like I'm not here.
Wowzers.
And I too am a mess.
Uh huh.
And did you
Found it, and there's literally nothing in there. You're just full of shit. But it's okay. Go ahead. You're Rena, and you're the other host. And what now?
and
You
I
were
too am a
saying?
mess. I too am a mess. That's
Uh
what I
huh.
said. You
Okay.
know what?
Let's just.
Let's just tell the people what the episode what this is, what we doing.
Okay. So you folks are joining us for episode 64. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. But no, really. Who do you call when you need help? And that's what we want to know. That's what we're going to talk about today in today's episode. But before we do, we have a little segment called What's the Mess? And I'm going to ask Rena, what is your mess? What's going on with you?
My mess is that I miss my mom.
Yeah.
I miss my mom and I miss what I thought the world was when she was in it.
Wow.
Um yeah, I feel like when she was alive, I
Hmm.
had like a guidepost, you
Yeah.
know. I had a sense
Yeah.
of stability. I just felt like I knew I could just walk off and decide to do something crazy and I could always land on her daybed.
Yeah.
And I don't have that anymore. And I miss
Mm-hmm.
that feeling. And I'm just now here just kind of flopping around trying to figure out, where I belong,
Yeah.
what I want to do and why I want to
Hmm.
do any of it. So
Hmm.
um I am very happy to be here and to be having this conversation. And uh, my emphasis is doubling down on gratitude, you know,
Yeah.
trying to focus on all the things that I have
Hmm.
instead of this really big, grand thing that physically I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's been my mess. That's been my mess.
I appreciate that. As a fellow, um, you know, part of this fraternity,
Fellow
I don't know,
orphan.
sorority, fellow orphan, I understand, especially around this time of year, it does get a little hard, a little heavy. You start thinking about what it might have been, and what it might have looked like, and this the fact that it doesn't. It is sometimes really difficult. I actually just talked about that recently with someone about just feeling like unguided,
Yeah.
just really charting the territory every step now. At this point in 4 years, it'll be half my life without my mom.
Wow.
And so, it is it's rough sometimes. So I feel for you, and I appreciate that that's your mess, and I hope that you feel better soon.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine.
Of course.
But I think about it, these times, these kind of like mile posts come up,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm expecting myself to feel different.
Hmm.
I'm like, really? Like it'll be year 5 this December, this upcoming
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
So, I
Well,
guess
oh, go ahead.
I'm getting to that point where I'm realizing like, no, it's always gonna be there. It's gonna linger. But
Yeah.
I have more awareness now of what it is. So like when my mood
Yeah.
kind of goes down, I'm able to kind of recognize it and be like, this is probably a contributing factor.
Yeah.
Also, my period is also around this time. So that's just, creating a
Another
heightened
thing.
effect.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I'm nearing year 16.
it's wild.
I know. And it's not it's not where it was at year 5. So I offer that as like some solace. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh,
Um,
so will the untethered feeling go away?
no.
Dang. I mean, that's what
But
I'm
I don't
feeling. The untetheredness. Like, I'm like, wow, that umbilical cord is just really severed. It's just
yeah,
not connected to
yeah.
anything.
I mean, I think for me, what I have started to do is just to reach out and just call my mom by name and be like, I miss you or I need you. And then, there's sometimes I feel awash with the feeling like I'm not so alone. But I think feeling untethered is kind of just our cross to bear at this point. It doesn't feel as heavy as time goes on. Now that's not to say it doesn't go away.
Mhm.
But Mother's Day doesn't affect me nearly as much as it did year 5. I'll say that.
Mm.
Yeah. So I still miss her though. She was like the coolest person in the world. But yeah, thank you for sharing your mess. That was very vulnerable and I appreciate it. What?
You're like, that was really vulnerable. Thanks for making me sad. Let's move
No,
on. I'm
no,
just
not
kidding.
even that. Like, I mean, I think it's especially important. Um, we honor mothers and we're grateful for them, the ones that are here. But it's a truth and it's a fact, especially as we get older. A lot of us will, lose our mothers, and it's important to know that it will affect you, and how do we go through that? How do we move through that? So I think it's important to talk about. So I was just saying I appreciate you doing that.
No, I was just giving you a hard time. That's what I do.
Always.
It's my way of lightening the mood by
Ah,
making it
is
darker.
it? Hell no. She said we're gonna light this shit up by cutting off all the lights. That's funny as fuck. Uh, but okay, so my mess is that this year I feel like I've yet to find clarity with my word for the year, which was focused.
Oh, ooh.
I feel
You've yet to
so
find clarity.
I've yet to
Like
find
you
clarity with
ain't.
the word. I'm so unfocused.
Oh
And
man.
I'm honestly not sure how to get back on track or even if I should. Like, is this the path I'm on that's best for my growth? Just sitting back and not having it. Like, I don't know. Um, I also am missing my family and friends. That's a little bit uh, of my mess. I kind of want to go home for 6 months and then come back rested or something. I don't know. I'm just tired, I think. And also, period. And life is lifing and all these things that are kind of like in conjunction with one another. Yeah. So I've been really like working with myself. I'm like, what's up with the focus? What's up, girl? What we doing? Can you do it? Is this a problem? I've been seeing a lot of shit popping up on my For You page about ADHD and shit like that being diagnosed later in women. And I'm not trying to diagnose myself, but our bitch is struggling. Oh, I was saying like I saw on the For You page that there's a lot of things about like adult women being like diagnosed, as they
With
get older and
ADHD.
stuff with ADHD or ADD, something like that. And I'm not trying to like diagnose myself, but I really have been having like a lot of like just trouble focusing. Like, and I don't know. Even if I find out that I do, is it like, am I going to take medicine? Absolutely not. But like it is just having that as my intention for the year and finding that I am like in the mud trying to be like focus. It's like a lot.
It seems
It's
like
a
you have
lot.
an expectation of what you should be focusing on.
Oh, maybe that's true. Of course. I mean, yes, right? Isn't that how focus works? I want to think about this thing. I want to get this thing done. Let's focus on that thing. So I should be able to direct my brain, we're focusing on this. Let's do it. And my brain's like, yeah, that's cool. But also, can I offer you these several other things to focus on as well? And I'm like, oh, those are kind of interesting. Let's take a peek.
Well,
And
maybe
I'm on like
you're
12 paths.
maybe you're being shown things that need to be addressed or focused
That's true.
on,
That's true. That could be it.
you know.
That could be
Like,
it. That could be it.
but
I don't know.
I'm glad you brought this up as your mess because I had to ask myself, what is my word for this year?
That's fucking hilarious. What is your word?
It's simplicity.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, interesting.
so I clearly haven't been focused on mine either because I
That's
forgot what it
funny.
was.
I know
Uh,
we're coming up on a 6 month mark, and I think I've been talking about it, and I think I told you about it. I wanted to do a vision board, and it just like the year went from January to now for me.
right.
And so I like maybe I'll do a 6 month vision party. Like what's vision board party where I just okay, let's do it. Because I feel
Maybe
like
we
when I had
can.
the vision board, it was like, ooh, let me look at it, let me touch it, let me got it type shit. So I don't know.
Maybe we need to do a check-in, a
I'm
6-month
down.
review.
We do.
Because I'm like, maybe this don't need to be my word, or
Or maybe figure out how to make it still. We still got 6 months,
yeah. I
type shit.
mean, I feel like we always set our intentions for this. This is our word for the year, and the universe
Yeah.
always shows us.
Oof.
It gives us that, but it's always in a different way than we
When we thought
anticipated.
every time, every
So
single time. But okay, that was the mess in a long roundabout way.
that was actually
And
one of the quickest messes we've ever
was
had.
it
Other than
my
you know what
interruption?
you did, they won't get the privilege of it, but I
Oh
did.
well, okay, okay. Well, you guys, like I said earlier, are joining us for episode 64. Who you gonna call Ghostbusters? Okay, but we can't call them because they aren't real. So when shit hits the fan, who do you really call for help? Um, and so I this was my topic. And the reason that I chose this is because we're both historically known not to ask for help. Like, and I just thought it would be interesting to dig down maybe why. And in the events we do need help, who do we even think to call? I really wanted to go there and just kind of see like why is there such a why do I feel this way about asking for help? What is it and why? So why did you agree to this topic?
Because like you said, I I don't ask for help.
Yeah.
It's something that I've always struggled with. Um, and kind of just thinking about my mom, thinking about
Hmm.
what she was for me. Um, and how, that's that person that, you feel like it's always going to be there to help you.
Yeah.
And yeah, not having that, I'm really having to redefine what my support system looks like, what help looks like
Yeah.
for me. Um, so I figured this would be a great topic and it's on time to kind of talk about what does help look like, what's available to me, just to break it down and and
Yeah.
hope and hopefully, having someone who's outside of me kind of be able to shed some light and give like a different perspective, see something that maybe I'm not seeing.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Well, I'm glad that we are doing this. Will you let the people know what the agenda is for this episode?
Sure, I guess that is something that I could do. So, the agenda, as always, is to dig it down, which stands for define, impact, and cope. So, this episode, we define what help is, when, where, why, and how we need it. Then discuss the impact of giving or receiving help, or even the impact of not giving or receiving help.
Hmm.
And lastly, like we talk about how we cope with help in our lives from here on out. We make each section clearly known so that you can follow along and have this conversation with us, with others, with yourself. So feel free to pause where you see fit to give yourself time to write, journal, or just reflect, or just keep listening. Do what feels right to you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And now we are to les définitions. So I wanted to define help. That was the word that I wanted to define this time. And according to our friends on the internet, it is to give assistance or support to someone or to provide someone with something that is useful or necessary in achieving an end.
Mhm.
And I thought that was a pretty thorough definition. So, who is on my team of Ghostbusters? So when I started first doing this, to be honest, I started like thinking about the topic and I initially went about it not being, I guess, truly honest with myself. I was like doing all
Hmm.
this, oh, I call this person for this, I call this person, you know what I mean, kind of shit. Um, but then like I said, well, who do you really call when you need help? And I think I call on forces greater than myself, the divine,
Hmm.
God, Gus, if you will, right? And that got me thinking about why I feel most confident asking from help from an entity I can't see.
Mm,
And I feel
mm,
like the truth is that I um I feel like I can call upon this invisible force and not be a burden,
yeah.
right? It
Mhm,
also doesn't have accountability to me if my cries for help aren't answered. I can
mm,
easily just say it wasn't meant to be, or it was meant to be, or some other such nonsense. Um, the weight of asking for help from people here on earth feels really heavy.
mhm,
The really vulnerable place that could result in disappointment.
mm,
And I really hate disappointment
mm,
a lot.
mm.
I was really disappointed a lot as a child. That really fucked me up. And that's not to say though that I don't have people here that I call, because I do. And I need to say that because it would be intellectually dishonest to not say that I have people here that I can call. And I'm really grateful to those people. I have a couple of people in my life that I consider like my best friends, and I know intellectually I can call them for anything, but emotionally I, number one, just don't want to be a burden to them. And number two, I don't want the disappointment in finding out that I'm wrong about who will show up for me. And that keeps me in this box of only asking, you know, s- I minimize the things that I need or will ask for those reasons. So that's my definition. And that is who I call and all of that.
I feel you on so many things, especially the disappointment piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I ask people for help, at that point, I'm like, wow, I'm really exposing you to the chance of disappointing me. And
Yeah.
I don't want to do that because
Yeah.
once I'm disappointed, that's like, it could change my whole view of
Yeah.
you. So I'd
Yeah.
rather just not ask you because I don't want to find
Yes.
out and have to
Yes.
like get rid of you. And so,
Ooh.
or, keep you around and then I think less of you. And
Yeah,
that's like
fucked
that
up.
resentment,
Mhm. Mhm.
man. But I gotta work on that.
Yeah. That's yeah. Once I had to say that out loud, because initially, like I said, I went about this and I was like, "Oh, I called this friend for that, and I called this friend for that." And I know, and I'm just saying, I'm like talking it up. I'm like, "Oh, I know if I really just need to whatever, I can go to my best friend." And the truth is, I do know that. I will do everything in my power to not have to go to her though, because I don't, and she's not one of the ones that I think I find I'm gonna find out about being disappointed. She's more so like, I don't want to be a burden to her. I know for
Mm,
sure if I be like, I'm done in California, like, can I come and just live for whatever? She's like, bet. I know that. But at that point, that's the burden aspect where it's like,
I
you got a
just
whole life.
I just had like a light bulb go off in my head because it's like,
Tell me.
okay, I asked for help. I'm either exposing you to opening you up to being a disappointment, or
Uh,
I'm the disappointment.
or that.
Like that's how I view it. Like if I get to that point
Yeah.
where I have to ask you for help, that means I couldn't do it on
I
my
failed.
own.
I
I failed, and I
failed.
come to you with my tail
Ugh.
between my legs,
Ugh.
and I don't want to be a disappointment. People
Yeah,
who ask for help have been made out to look like they're disappointing people.
they have. Yeah. Especially if you
So,
need help for any extended period of time. Some of the help that I need, that I feel like sometimes I need, is extended help. Like, I just need to, I just, whatever, for however long, I just need this help, kind of thing. But yeah, after extended period of time, people are like, all right, why you not back on your feet? Because I'm not.
so and that's another thing too is by the time you actually ask for help, sometimes it's so far gone because you
Yeah.
put off asking for help. And maybe if you would
Mm-hmm.
have asked for help a month or two earlier, it wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have it wouldn't have needed to be
So
so
long.
long.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's almost
So
like people need to ask for help faster,
sooner.
earlier,
Yeah,
sooner.
maybe. Maybe. What about you?
Um,
What's your definition?
I got one more question. I can't just go
Okay,
into
come
my
on, question.
definition.
Okay, I'm here. I'm listening.
So you mentioned though that you ask God for help because that way
I do.
you're not a burden. But then you also mentioned that when you ask like, earthly people, humans for help,
Uh,
you tend to like diminish, what you're asking for or the need.
yeah,
Do you think that also could apply to your assistance request to God? Do you think
that I
sometimes,
diminish it.
yeah, that you're diminishing your level of need? Do you fully
Mm.
tell God everything that you need?
I be telling God the most egregious shit. I'd be like, please let me win the lottery. I just want to win the lottery, God. Please, I just need 2 years of break where I'm happy and healthy and fully fucking taken care. I be asking
So you're
no.
asking
So
God what
the
you
answer is
want.
no. I think so. When I can articulate it, I do ask for what I want. I ask for more than what I want. I ask for more than I even know or think is possible. But I'm like, you know, and have everything. I can ask you for anything. I can ask you for some real unrealistic shit. Unrealistic in my mind, but shit, you got it. You know what I'm saying? So no,
See,
I don't.
I and I ask this question because at times I
uh,
kind of shy away from fully like asking for help with certain things from God because
okay.
the way I ask for help is okay, I'll ask, show me what I'm not seeing or
Mm,
show me what I need to do. And sometimes I don't want to see what I need to do.
okay.
So I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to get in this position? Okay, I say I want this, reveal the opportunities.
Yeah.
And then like I'm afraid that if I ask for that, God's gonna be like, okay, here are these opportunities. And then I'm not gonna take them.
Got
And
it.
then I'm gonna be a disappointment.
I got you. So it's the
So
loop of disappointment.
right.
Okay.
So a part of me is even when it comes to God, I have
You're
difficulty being
asking for little
open
shit.
to help. I'm
Wow.
asking for little
Wow.
shit and I have difficulty being open.
I
But
got you.
let's get back on track
Okay, to your definition.
to my definition. Because what is help?
Okay. What is help?
It's something that you call on when you don't understand or you can't do it alone. When you
Mm,
need support to or help is to be of service or to receive a service from someone.
mm, mhm.
So that's the way I see it. So according to kind of like the agenda, I wrote up
Okay.
what can help do for me, right? So I feel
Yeah.
like it can increase my quality of life by reducing stress and anxiety due to the weight of existence being lifted a bit. You know, why do I need help? Ease and grace. It's so much easier to get through life and get things done with help, as we just spoke about. How do I receive
Right.
help? That's a really good question because I
Mm,
struggle with telling people how, and I struggle with admitting to myself that I need help. So,
yeah.
yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Maybe by the end of this podcast, maybe not.
Yeah.
When do I need help? I usually wait until I'm exhausted. I've exhausted all options for myself
Yeah.
and myself. So I've exhausted the options, and I've exhausted myself. So I don't know if that's the best approach. That's also something else that I'm hoping to kind of flesh out in this conversation. And where do I need help in my life right now? Where like,
Everywhere.
I need, encouragement, I need community, people to work on things with, um, people to help me be accountable for all the things I'm avoiding. Uh,
Hmm.
I feel like I still need everything that I needed as a kid. And it never goes away. But the only difference is that I am now responsible for meeting that need, for helping myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that piece about being accountable to myself.
Mm,
And
hmm.
lastly, where do I receive help? Um, friends,
Hmm.
therapy,
Hmm.
Gus, God, universe,
Come on,
source, and spirit.
Gus. Yes.
Good old God, universe, source, and spirit. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, that's my definition.
Okay. Okay. I feel like it shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard. Should we move on to the impact? Or do you have questions? You
Oh,
know
I
how
thought
we do.
that's how you were opening up the impact.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be this hard. And I think the impact of me feeling like asking for help is either to put myself in a position of vulnerability. Well, it is to be in a position of vulnerability, and it's to be, the chance that you're a burden or disappointment, or the chance to be disappointed. The impact of that is that I keep most people at least an arm's distance away from my heart.
Mm, mm.
It's never letting anyone close to my center, which, despite my tough exterior, is quite soft and delicate. Um, I feel like I've been keeping myself in solitary confinement
Oh, wow.
for fear that I will be heartbroken beyond repair. It's like what kind of life is that to live? Like, look out at people from this self-imposed prison, like never truly feeling vulnerable to another soul. Like, I want to live a more free existence than that. I want to ask for things that I want without fear. I want to experience people fully and also let them experience me. I want to thrive in this existence. The impact is that is tough to do. The impact is that um, I be needing help. I
Mm.
be struggling alone. I be drowning trying to come up and create my own floaties in the middle of the fucking ocean. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. There's really a floaty, there's a floaty station right there. Ask them for some floaties. But I'm trying to create and gather kelp and goddamn shit from the bottom of the ocean to create my own goddamn floaties. And like, no, this is dumb. It's dumb. So the impact is that sometimes I'm just drowning or struggling alone when I don't have to. Um, and I'm, yeah, trying to unlearn that, I guess.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Hmm.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
Yeah.
What's to you? What do you feel is society's view of help? I already know the answer, but I just want you to say it.
What do I feel like? What?
What's society's view of help?
I feel like in short bursts, we love to do a quick help, a quick handout,
Hmm.
to relieve ourselves of like this feeling of being, you know, um, better than someone. It's like, oh, I reached out, I gave my clothes to the poor, I did this, like little shit. But I think if you need help for any extended period of time, and then this goes for a lot of things in our life, like if you know, if you are mentally unwell, we'll just use that as an example. You can be like, okay, and they'll give you like some medicine or like a little, if you can just breathe through it, they'll give you like tools and tricks. But if your shit is an extended thing, you are now the dregs of society. That's even with the homeless. If I go and give you $1 today and I see you sitting out there again tomorrow, I'm like, oh my God, just go get a job. Well, sometimes not that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like society as a whole, we don't like extended periods of help. At a certain point, get yourself up and do something for yourself. Kind of thought process is how I feel like we as society, like, how we
So
handle help.
yes, yes, I agree
Yeah.
with that definitely.
Hmm.
Because like being in a helping profession,
Hmm.
like yeah, that's what it's like. It's like you get to a point where people love to help you, but people also want to see results. So it's almost like it's a
Yeah.
loan. It's like not only am I going to help
Yes.
you and give you this help so that you can be successful, but I need to be rewarded. I want you to. I want
Yeah.
that back with interest. So you need to be
Yeah.
spectacular tomorrow. And if not,
Damn.
then it wasn't my help that was the problem. It wasn't, society's like just making an outline that is contributing to your problem. You have a disorder. There's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you.
Um, and because you don't want to be labeled as having something wrong with you, that reinforces this resistance to help for me,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
because when I think of society's view of help, even through the lens of what I do, I'm a social worker.
Hmm.
You know, you're weak, you
Yeah.
shouldn't need it, and
Damn.
bootstraps, bitch. Get you some bootstraps.
That's crazy. People don't even be having boots. Oh,
Right. It's like, so where am I gonna get the straps? And then when I steal the straps off somebody else's boots, they're like, "You
Right.
go to jail."
Right.
Um, but then there's also this whole "it takes a village to raise a child" saying. Is
Mhm.
that American? Because I don't think it's American. I think it's more like the children can work too. So,
That's
um,
hilarious. I don't know where that saying comes from.
yeah, I
Feels
don't think it's from
American.
here. So now,
That's
is it? I think we borrowed that because we
did
don't even
we?
have villages. Because if you're from a village, they also think something's wrong with you.
Right,
So
okay.
I just, yeah, I think society's view of help, it just reinforces, it just makes you not want to get help. But literally, society can't be built without help.
Right.
Like these buildings, these cars, like everything we
Yeah.
do, it's
It's a
everybody's
collaboration.
helping one another. Yes, help is just a
Yeah.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Like if we're down here, we aren't helping anyone. Like we're not
Right.
providing a service. Like Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos, you provided a service. Amazon, I pay you for that. You're giving me help.
Mhm.
You're giving me assistance, right?
Mhm.
Because you're
Mhm.
saying I need you. I need your help. I need your service, right?
Right. Right.
So like you wouldn't be the billionaire you are if you weren't getting help from me,
Very true.
right? So
Right.
now I want to return on my help with interest. I want you to pay me now. No, I'm
That's
just kidding.
hilarious. Hell no. I want you to
No,
pay me now.
so I think just kind of asking these questions, and you mentioning that you gotta kind of reteach yourself what help
Mhm.
is, and through like another lens, like through another understanding. I think it's good to know
Right.
what that initial understanding is, and what you want it to be, you know, from here on out.
Right.
And you know, the heart is soft for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, if something's too rigid, it cracks. But hey, if you take a bump or two on a hard dig, I mean, you can puncture it, so don't do too much. But
Don't be too
you'll
risky.
bruise it, but it'll heal, and that's
Yeah.
part of it, being flexible, malleable.
Right.
So it's like we're designed to be soft. We're not
Yeah.
designed to be so hard and to not need help. That's not how humanity works.
It's not. I think that's the thing. You're absolutely right and on to something that this is a collaborative effort, this human
Right.
experience. We really can't do anything as a solitary person. I mean, some things of course, but like, to have built this society, it was a collaborative effort. It was a you help me, I help you, kind of situation. And we got so used to this mind, especially in our community. It's very much so I just have to do it my own. And I understand where it came from because, at any moment, things could change or, you could be left alone in so many different aspects in our community. At one point or another, you could be alone. So it's like, I just have to figure out how to do it by myself. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, whew, yeah.
And to add to that about like our
Uh,
community, and I'm assuming you're referring to the Black
yes.
community. Okay.
Black. We are a part of a couple. I understand why there was confusion, but
I
yes.
just want to make sure which
The
community we're
colored,
speaking from.
the colored Black community, yes.
Okay. I think also the help that's often been given to us has come at a great cost.
Ooh, that's real shit.
So it's
That's real
always like,
shit.
I'm gonna take this help from you, but I know I'm not getting like a fair deal,
Yeah,
you
yeah. It's like
know?
I have to take this help from you, but this is gonna maybe set me back
I'm gonna be at
a
your
little bit.
mercy, you
Yeah,
know? So, and
damn.
that
And
just
that's the
popped up
other
for
thing
me.
too,
Wow.
being at someone's mercy.
Yeah, because one thing
Wow,
I'm not gonna
that's
be is at your mercy.
to
You ain't gonna do what you want to do with me.
me. You about to do what to me? Oh no, I'd rather just sit here and drown.
Pretty much.
That's sad though. That's
Yeah.
kind of sad though. That's really sad. You didn't tell us your impact though.
Oh, dang.
I know. We did all that.
So, my impact when it comes to help, I can dish it, but I can't take it, obviously.
Oof.
Um, I
Jesus
struggle.
Christ.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
struggle with asking for help. I struggle with accepting that I need help. I struggle with not feeling less than when receiving help because something society tells me I should have been able to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
That is some innate flaw in me that I need help,
Mm.
because like
Mhm.
I should have been born knowing calculus,
That's hilarious.
like the fact that I don't just get it, that's
Right.
clearly some things. not right
flaw
with
in
me.
you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it because I can't
Er,
stand math.
Same
Um,
here.
and the impact is that that narrative makes me feel exhausted,
Mhm.
makes the world feel cold and unkind.
Mhm.
Like it's like we're all out for ourselves,
Mhm.
and you're doing something wrong if you ask for help. So
Mm.
that's been a big impact. And like I said, we're all helping one another. We're all providing some type of service, whether you're an
Mhm.
employee, an entrepreneur, or whatever.
Right.
We're helping. We're helping one another.
Yeah.
And it's only seen as bad if you aren't getting paid to help someone,
Mhm.
or you can't pay someone to help you. So I
Mhm.
feel like it all comes down to money, and that's really
Yeah.
not what it is. It's supposed to be about community and furthering, humanity.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where it's just too expensive. It's too expensive to help, to need help.
It's too expensive to need help?
Yes.
What do you mean?
It's too expensive to need help and to get help.
To get help, yes,
Right, because
certainly.
like right
But to
now,
need help, oh, go ahead.
well, I mean, we need help. We're
Yeah.
built we're born needing help. Like that's our
Right.
first lesson in life. You gonna need some help.
Yeah.
Can't walk, can't talk, can barely see. Can't
Right.
do anything on your own. You're
Right.
literally at someone's mercy. We're born into our parents' hands at their mercy. They
Yeah.
don't feed us, then we got to
Yeah.
learn how to walk real fast. But even
That's
then,
hilarious.
where the food at? Like,
Right.
you're at someone's mercy. Um, I guess what I was thinking about, like it's too expensive to need stuff, like rent.
Uh,
Rent is expensive. Like needing a house,
okay.
needing a shelter, needing clothes,
Yeah.
like that help, that type of help is expensive.
Yeah. That's true.
Trying to figure out
That's
how to.
true.
I'm still trying to figure out how to need less help,
I mean,
and I don't think that's the answer.
what do you think that well, okay, we'll get to what the answer is, but let's say what how we cope and then we can go to what the answer is that we think we
Okay,
need.
so how do we cope with
Okay.
this stress?
How do we cope? I cope by asking for what I need. I think I've been doing a better job. I'm not gonna say great, but I'm doing better. And I think that starts by actually acknowledging that I have needs. I cope by assessing my innermost feelings and not downplaying them for safety. I think I've done that a lot, saying like, I can, I've always said I can make things okay. Whatever my environment, I can make it all right. And I think that's good in some survival moments, but to always make things all right is to never say, no, this is not all right. And this is what I need. I need this to be this way, to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel honored, to feel whatever. I've always downplayed shit and been like, this is fine. I can make any of this shit work because I can, but I shouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? I say what I need to myself. And then if I need help outside of me, I just ask. I cope by keeping people in my life who continue to show up for me, by recognizing all the beautiful souls that have been placed in my life and their willingness to be there for me in a myriad of ways. And as always, I continue to be grateful,
Mm.
to stay grateful, give myself grace. When I want to retreat into solitude, I say, hey, well, let's just maybe, let one person know how you're feeling. Maybe don't even ask for anything. Just say, I'm feeling overwhelmed,
Mm.
you know?
Just let your needs be known. Just let it be
Yeah.
known that you need help. Just in
Yeah.
general, you don't even have to
In general.
specify.
Right. And I might not even be asking you. I might just be saying, I'm struggling. I mean, if you know something or you have something that can help, fine. But just, it's just starts by saying that what I'm experiencing is not okay. I'm
Mm.
not doing well, and I think that's the biggest way that I'm coping.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to cope.
Mm, I'm trying.
Huh. I really love the gratitude piece. Like just really being thankful for the people
Hmm.
who do help,
Right.
because a lot of times, you help someone and sometimes you don't feel like it's appreciated.
Hmm.
So and you don't know what it took for that person to help you. A lot of times we're asking help from people who also need help.
Agreed.
And, like I said, in our community, help comes at a cost.
Yeah.
and it comes at a cost when we're helping others.
That's true.
So not even just receiving, but when we're giving.
Mhm.
And so to be mindful
Mhm.
of that and to really honor those people
Yeah, who show
who
up for
help.
you.
You know,
Yeah,
I want to say that they don't have to help. I mean, and they don't. You don't
they don't.
have to do anything, but
Right.
it's great when they do.
It is. It's beautiful. I mean, and just acknowledging those things. And I think so oftentimes, especially being, what I consider to be an orphan at this point, it's very easy for me to get into this mindset like I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, it's very easy to get into that mindset and not recognize the people that are actually showing up every single time, whatever ways I need, they will show up for me. And so I think it's important to be aware and to be appreciative of those people because, like you said, they really don't have to. And
Yep.
you, how are you coping?
I'm coping by challenging my narrative surrounding help in any form because what are we fucking here for if it's not to help one another? You know, whether we want to admit it or not, everything that we aim to do is a form of assistance to humanity at large. So that's help. You're a helper. We're all helpers. Um, Another thing, I cope by helping myself more. Because like I said, I'm a professional helper. So
Yeah,
um, that may mean that I need to help others a little less so that I can be of service and support to myself.
okay.
And that also be an example to others that they can do the same.
Yeah,
Like, hey, like maybe I can't help you directly, but maybe I can show you a path because
yeah,
I'm forging this path for myself. So,
yeah,
you know, maybe, looking at other ways that I can help other than like direct hands-on assistance.
yeah.
Um, Affirming that I am worthy of receiving help, affirming that I
Mm,
want to be of help to people in a way that empowers in lieu of enabling them.
mhm.
So those are the things that, I'm doing to cope. Also, that piece that just really showing gratitude for those who do help me,
Mhm.
just really holding that up and really just immersing myself in that feeling of gratitude when I do receive help. Instead of feeling like I'm a disappointment,
Yeah.
change that narrative to, wow, I'm so grateful that I'm receiving help, not I
Yeah.
suck because I'm receiving help.
Yes. Come on, change the narrative. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love that a lot. Okay, I'm sorry. You were saying.
No, that's it. I'm done. That's it.
No, that was awesome. I really love that. And I think that's actually kind of a good recap. I feel like we both struggled with, the idea of what it means to need help or to ask for help or to be at the mercy of someone's help. And I do think it's important to recognize, firstly, that we are a collaborative species. It is only with help from one another that we have created the things that we have. It's changing the narrative and not saying, oh, I'm such a burden, but saying, I'm so grateful that I even have someone that I can call to say, I need help, and also recognizing the importance of what they are able to do, regardless of if it's the full thing. And I think that will mitigate some of that disappointment of you feeling like, oh, it didn't happen how I wanted it to happen. The help. So I really think just changing the narrative is a very important piece to being able to ask for and receive help. And I think that was a really lovely recap. You just kind of slipped it in there, but that was really dope. I
Uh,
know you didn't even know.
no, not at all. I was just,
But I heard you, I helped you out. You see?
I
It's
see, I
just it's
see.
all
There we
it's
go.
all
See, now we're both great because just help. See?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. No, this was a really fun episode, and I'm really glad we did it. And I know we kind of talk around and toward these things often, but I think it's really important to have these conversations because it's not easy to ask for help for a lot of people. And I want to be the first to say that it is okay to ask for help and find your group, find your tribe, find the one person who you can say, hey, here's the situation. Maybe they themselves are not able to help, and also give people the give them Credit. If they can't help, they'll say, but if they can, they will help. And if maybe they can't help, maybe they know someone who can. You never know what um closed mouths don't get fed.
That
Let's just
part.
say that, you know, if I say, "Oh man, I really am hoping for, I really just want to work from home job," and I never say, I could really use this, and I never say, somebody knows right now opportunity, and might be like, "Oh, I was looking for somebody. Let me just, I can't, I don't have the job, but I know somebody who do, or I know of somebody who might know of somebody." It's all these things where it's like, don't um don't make somebody else I don't know what I'm trying to say necessarily, other than just give people credit. You know, people are there are a lot of helpers on this planet.
Yeah.
A lot of people who want to be of help and an assistance, and
Yeah.
won't look at you as a burden for asking for said help or assistance. So, yeah, I think the overall gist of it is just change the narrative
Yeah.
behind what you think help is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Help is not a bad thing.
yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be something that takes away from the person receiving help or the person who's giving help.
yeah.
Um, I think if we were all just a little bit more vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
had a little bit more empathy and sympathy, and
Yeah.
were more free in helping people,
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't need so much money.
Yeah,
Just,
I agree. I agree.
um, I just, yeah, yeah, there's nothing wrong with receiving help. And I personally, I think one way that I'm going to change the way that I'm looking at things
Mhm.
from here on out is that I am going to ask for help so that I can be in a better position to help others. Like, I want help so that I can be okay and then I can pay it forward. So,
I love that. I love that. I love that. Um, that's really beautiful. So I think we are now to our shout outs.
yes,
Are there any shout outs that you have for this episode?
I do actually, which
What?
is a shocker. I
Shock,
know.
shock. Okay.
So yeah, I've been really reflective today. Mother's Day is on
Hmm.
tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Um, because we're recording on a Saturday. You
Hmm.
guys won't hear this until a Thursday, but
Yeah.
I feel like this shout out remains the same regardless.
Lovely.
So my shout outs to, all the mothers out there, we
Yeah.
need you always. Um,
Hmm.
and to all those who are celebrating Mother's Day without your mother being present,
Hmm.
whether that be physically or emotionally, keep your head up.
Yeah.
There's something that all of our mothers have taught us in this world, even if it isn't the lesson that we feel a mother should teach.
Hmm.
Um, and we all become mothers one day, whether it's to our own offspring
Hmm.
or to our own inner children. So that
Mm.
is my shout out.
I love that. That's really beautiful. I'll piggyback on that and say to all the mothers out here doing your best to unlearn the traumas of your youth to raise new, happy, healthy children. I applaud you. Gentle parenting, I know, cannot be easy, and I am so grateful for you that you are raising this next generation with such a love and such focus and dedication. And I think we will all be better off for it. So, yes, shout out to all the mommies out there.
Yeah.
So, I think this is bringing us to my favorite part, which is the meditation. If
Mhm,
you are new here, what we do is take a couple deep breaths.
mhm.
We set an intention, take another couple breaths, and then I let you go about your day. So, what I want you to do for me is to take a big deep breath. We'll take a second deep breath. And we'll take one more deep breath. All right, and now let's set our intentions. I intend to ask for help when I need it from the people that I know will show up for me, have continually showed up for me, and also allowed me to show up for them. I continue to be grateful that I have these people in my life.
Oh, um, gosh, what is my intention? It's my intention to be vocal about the help that I need,
Mm,
to yeah, to honor the goals that I have for myself
Yeah.
and assess the help I need and to seek out that help. That's my intention.
I love that. I love that. All right. We'll take our last set of breaths. Take another big, deep breath with me. We'll take a second deep breath. And we'll take our last deep breath. All right. Your intentions have been set for the day. Go out there and flourish, sis. Today doesn't have to be a mess.
But it's okay if it is.
So, Liz, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. It looks like Wyatt wanted to join in on the show at the last little minute
He
there.
said he needed help.
Okay, we'll give him his help. Look at him asking for help. I'm so proud of him.
He does not shy away from that.
We could all learn a little lesson from YY. But thank you guys so much for tuning in again. If you ever have a topic idea that you're like, they need to dig this down, please email us at itsamessagespodcast@gmail.com. That same email at itsamessagepodcast@gmail.com can be used if you would ever like to be a guest, if you just have some things to say, if you want to shout us out, if you're a small business and you would like to be featured on the podcast, please reach out and let us know. We would love to work with you. Is there anything else we need to let the people know?
No, we just appreciate you always, all the help you give us by listening, by commenting, engaging, and interacting with us. We appreciate you so hard.
So hard. All right. Well, if that's everything, we're going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. It's a message.
Hey, that's why I can't sing.
It's okay. He's going to talk over my singing. Okay, it's ready now.